Welcome to Healthy You in 2022 and beyond. My name is Nadya Touch with Coaching by Nadya, and I help busy professionals who look for balance and strength in their bodies and minds, health and lives to prioritize their daily wellness care through mindset, nutrition, and fitness so they can have stronger bodies, stronger minds, balanced health, life, so we can finally enjoy the lives that we really want. So let's dive deep into how to be healthy you in 2022 and beyond. So I'm going to ask you use the chat as well, if you don't mind, when I ask the question. So, what do you want to feel? Why are you in this webinar? Why are you listening? Do you want to feel balanced life? Treating yourself as priority, feeling stronger in body and mind, energized, happier, calmer, consistent, mindful, and actually looking forward to doing those good things for your body. So where are you now? Maybe just put one or two words, what stands out for you. And I am reading the chat. Oh, you lost sound. That is interesting. How about now? Can you hear me? Go ahead and put in the chat or give me thumbs up. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. Where did you lose me?
You froze, your face froze, and then we couldn't hear you.
Okay. I saw a little icon showed up for the internet. Okay. Well, Christmas is coming.
Back now.
All right. So where do you want to feel in your body, in your health, in your life? And sometimes all those things stand on the way. One of them, I think we hear very often, just too busy, can't put anything else on my plate, especially right now when the holidays are coming. Have you heard, if you're in the business of service, the answer, I'll do it after holidays? Yeah. Or we're feeling lack of energy, feeling unsupported. That was actually my personal case. We're feeling aches and pains, just we've done all those things in the past. And we kind of know what to do and still feel inconsistent with our actions. So again, feel free to use the chat if something speaks to you. By the way, if you don't want to do the public answer, feel free just to send me a personal message. I'm going to save the chat and respond to you if you have any questions. If you send anything private, I will connect with you after the webinar. Or we'll be happy to. Okay, well, there's Larry's. Okay. So believe me, I really understand and know when the personal journey comes to almost like a very low point where you know you need to change. I see consistency. Thank you, Mary. And for me, well, you can hear my accent. I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia. And my first experience with wellness was when I was 11. And somebody told me that I looked so thin that I looked sick. And I believe at that time, maybe somewhat subconsciously, I made a decision, you know what, it doesn't matter what you look, as long as you're healthy. And moving forward, in 2003, I moved to this country and had my young family. Mine is right here by my door. But really taking care of my kids, my young family, I just neglected, if I may say, my personal health. And when we do it long enough, the body is going to be talking to you. There are different variations how the body talks to you. But in my case, it was, hey, in warm Dallas, Texas, I was sick and tired all the time. Why in the warm climate, I'm sick all the time every month? So that was the turning point, mentioning and not mentioning, being in a different culture, different country, different language. This is my second language I speak on. That actually was really devastating for my personal self-esteem. And I'm like, I know I'm smart and I can't really express that. That's hard. And I went on the journey of really helping myself first. My background is actually psychology. So I looked at how do I fix this thing between my ears, the mind. Why am I just never enough? And looking for confirmation from other people, never enough. Do you have that in your life? Like you have that story of something not good enough, and if somebody says it to you, you say, "Oh, I knew that." So that was me. And moving forward with nutrition, moving forward with fitness, how do I help my body with a proper fuel so the body can heal and feel the way I want to feel? And what do I do for fitness to have my body strong and not injure myself? That wasn't my case. So 13 years into the journey, I really came to realization it's, yes, additional programs are great, but it's being intentional in what we're already doing, eating and thinking, back to basics, foundational, if I may say, baby steps in mindset, nutrition, and fitness. So let's start there. And this will be my invitation for all of us to actually revise, reflect on what we are already doing. We often want to chase something next, but let's actually acknowledge where we are and see what we can adjust. And in the last almost 2 years, my life has been through quite a bit of change. I resigned from the gym I worked at. We were the #1 club in the country. I started my own business. Somebody's asking me, how long have you been in this industry or business? Well, industry, 13 years, but coaching by Nadya business, I started the company right at the beginning of COVID time. Then moved to reclaiming and really reflecting on my personal relationships. So that's 3 huge changes in a very short period of time. And how did I not go insane and crazy? Somehow, somewhere, I was lifting up that light of self-care. Now it's like when the day is bright and shiny, I'll do it later when the life is happy. We don't see the light. But when the light is dark, the room is dark, the life is dark. Let's turn on that light bulb of self-care brighter, because that's what, when you practice, that's where actually the practice is the best. When it gets tough, let's turn that light bulb up. Okay, so with that said, if there's nothing else in this webinar, I want us to live with hope that we can get healthier with age. And let's look at it today. How can I do that for myself? So this is what I actually see from my clients. I can finally walk upstairs. She's never been able to do that. I can move my neck. I don't need knee surgery anymore. I'm positive. My blood pressure is back to normal. My body's cleared up. I am looking forward to exercise. Somehow it's my favorite. And I have my non-negotiable self-care routine where I'm also consistent with my healthy habits. So I'm curious, do you see something that will be really good to say that on behalf of you, or maybe someone you know? So today, I know I've got quite a bit of information, so I'm going to do maybe a little bit faster, if you allow me. If I need to slow down, type in the chat, slow down, or repeat something. Consistency, absolutely. We often know what to do. It's really not about the change, and transformation is not about something new or knowing. It's about making those daily choices of pretty much what we already know. So let's look at it today as well. So you're going to learn today 3 steps and 3 pillars of the ultimate transformation of your health and ultimately life. We're going to assess where you are and where you want to be. We will look at mindset, 3 steps to change your mind, nutrition, 3 steps to upgrade, and movement, and 3 steps to level up. So you will have a plan, and of course, I will invite you to take an action. So please stay at the end and I'll give you a really, really fun bonus. Okay, and if you know someone, please share this information with them. The recording will be sent to you in about a couple of hours, but the registration is still actually active through coachingbynadya.com events. Okay, take a deep breath in. Where's your health right now? Let's dive in. And feel free to use the chat. You can put it in private or you can put it in public right here on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is nowhere is my health, or 10, you're the best. So where do you put yourself? Okay, I see letting of sugar, all right. 8, 9, 8, currently at 6. Okay, thank you. All right, by the way, the first step of really long-lasting change transformation is stating what's so, not taking it away, not hiding, not doing something different. Here's where I am, 5 to 6. Thank you for sharing that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at how can we be intentional or revise what we're already doing, eating, thinking, and back to foundational choices. And I want to invite you to really look at this element also from the angle of not doing it by yourself. Do you know the percentage of how many people fail or quit after starting a really good, successful program? The percentage, it's on top of my memory, it's about 98 of us quit, stop, resign, we don't do it, because we might have a system, but we don't have the support and accountability. So I will be encouraging you to actually find your community, find your group, join us so you can journey in your wellness. So for example, Coralie, she said at the beginning it was really hard. She was actually very intimidated. She almost made it to the webinar today, but then she said, even from the very first days, I knew I could do it. I already feel better. In her first month, she felt the change. I believe by now she lost maybe 20 pounds. And even with fitness and nutrition, she can do it, even at the age that she thinks that might be tough for her, 68. And by the way, Katie was the one who said, I can finally walk upstairs. What she took on is the guidance and accountability, doing it together as a group and learning to, not really learning, but prioritizing herself. And we do it weekly, we do it daily, we do it together. Okay, sure. Let's look at how do we revise our mindset, fitness, nutrition through the 3-step system and support and accountability, and the 3-step system in behaviors, beliefs, and identity. And we are going to take a look at what is the time frame in order for me to make the change. But here's the key. This is, if nothing else, if you've got to go sooner, this is the slide to take a screenshot of. In order to change your mindset, therefore, really your life, you must change your behaviors. Today, we're going to focus a lot on actually behaviors and doing them long enough so they can become who I am and what I do, therefore my new habits, therefore new me. So in order to change your mind, you must change your behaviors. And to do that, this is a fun one. Let's put the goggles of curiosity. So every time you see the slide where I say curiosity goggles, think about this picture, blue fun goggles and a smile. Don't change behavior. Yeah, but what's the easiest way to change behavior, beliefs, or identity? What in the world believes in identity? How do I change them? Here's how, through behaviors. So it's an easy one, if I may say, not as simple. Well, it's a simple, but not an easy one. So let's put the curiosity goggles, and there is no right or wrong answer. Feel free to work in your notepad or in the chat, or if you already printed out the handout. But curiosity actually allows us to look at it without judgment. It's almost like, oh, isn't that interesting? Okay. It allows us to actually step back and be an observant, be our own coach. That is cool. Okay, they say courage comes from forced acts of bravery. Ooh, wow, thank you. Courage comes from forced acts of bravery. I like that. So let's go ahead and put the curiosity goggles. And before we even tap into, so what behaviors do I focus on? Let's look at, what do you want? Do you want more energy? Feel stronger? Injury prevention, balance, fitter, lose 20 pounds. You know, the average COVID pounds now, last year it was 10, this year is 20. So we're gaining 10 pounds per year. Less aches, pains, inflammation. What is it that you want? All of the above. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's almost like everything is so connected, isn't it? Yeah. Goal of 1% fitness among 71-year-olds. There you go. All right, all of the above, yes. And sometimes, just gonna give you a quick coaching tip here. If you're having a conversation with someone and they don't know what they want, we might ask them, hey, what do you not want? That's where my second language comes in. I can't pick that phrase right. What do you not want? Hey, what I don't want is stress. That's easy for me to answer. What do you want instead? Balance. Okay. So now that you know what you want, and really, please pick up the paper, write it for yourself. When you do vision board soon this month or next month, you will already have your goal, your vision. So when you have that energy, strength, balance, how will your life be different? What will you be able to do that you cannot do right now? For me, the answer will be, I'll have more free time to relax, go to massages, travel, and actually serve my people. So what about you? Anybody in the chat? So, and sometimes it's actually really important to look at what can be different in my life. When I say I want to lose 20 pounds, sometimes we don't even know how the life looks like with 20 pounds less. We don't know how life looks like with reduced inflammation and less aches and pains. I don't know how my life looks like when I'm less stressed. We know what we don't want, but how does the life looks like? That's where vision, building that clarity is really helpful. Better version of current life. Same mental clarity is affected by no sugar. I feel I'm okay with clarity, but maybe I can have more clarity. So when you have better version of current life or more clarity, what does it look like? Okay. And in fact, you can just write down those ideas, what comes to your mind, but we want to build the vision of what is that life for me. Let's actually look at it. There's my next slide. That's your why. It's your, I call it why that makes you cry. There is a reason why those 3 whys are underneath. Imagine your why is like you're peeling the layers of the cabbage. The core of the cabbage, that's what my mom used to make in the childhood, and that's what I make for my kids. So cabbage comes in my vision really fast. But it's the core of the cabbage is that big one that tickles your heart. So if it's a better life, better version of my current life, how does it look like and why? I'm actually saying so I can serve my people. Well, why? I just something, it feels like I am the planet in the universe if I'm just that open. I have the time to not just to run like a squirrel in the wheel, but actually be open for the space, for the need. That big why almost feels like, ooh, that's a lot, that's much, please don't. That means it's a good why. So it's something that really, really, really almost like shrinks your heart and you say, oh, wow. Okay, so we want to really dig deep into your why. Engagement and impact, organizing and planning. Okay. All right, so thank you for working with me. And we will have a vision board workshop. I don't yet have a registration, but it's coming. Bob, if you don't mind, there's a link for resources. That not resources, events. I don't think I have it on the, but the registration is coming soon. And that's where we can work with your why and your goals in the vision board workshop. It's in a month, it's in January 22nd. But then we really want to set the goals. Let's just start on these goals. So what are your goals in December 2022? Okay, if it's losing 20 pounds, what's the pound? What is the weight you want to be in December 2022? Okay, if for me is less stress, what is my goal? By December 2022, I want to have 4 trips once per quarter. Okay, so can you see how I'm breaking it down into time? And you don't have to have really clear clarity, but some ideas. So if I want to have less inflammation, what is my goal for December 2022? Maybe have a particular result from the doctor. Maybe my PT is going to say, you may not need that surgery. Let's keep working. So what is the goal? And then I'm breaking it down into smaller chunks. For me, I break it down into 6 months, then 3 months, next month, weekly, daily. Okay. All right, so sugar-free. And Mary, if it's sugar-free, a little more clarity. How does it look like, let's say in December 2022? Is that what you're saying? So if it's sugar-free, what are we going to see you doing or not doing, saying, being? How does it look like? And then you can build it. What is it in June? What is it in March? And then when you actually find your group to join and do it together, you actually have a goal that you're striving towards. Eat only natural sugars, as in fruit versus bakery. Okay. So it's about maybe making a list and creating a plan. How will it look like? What does my diet look like? All right. So with that said, take a deep breath. Let's actually look at a little bit deeper conversation. So I'm going to run through this a little bit faster than I normally do, but you do have a handout and the recording will be sent to you. If you need more details, send me a request in the personal chat, in the email. I can send you all these questions. But let's look at the lifestyle assessment first. What are you doing right now? Just take one of those goals that you already put and let's look at how do I reach that goal? What are you doing right now? What is my diet looks like right now? Exercise? Other habits related to my goal, for example? Now, right now, some of the habits I still do is not taking breaks when my calendar says it's a break time. So something to revisit. What new habits do I want to establish? Here's just some examples: drinking more water, eat more vegetables, eliminate sugar, find better substitutions. This is something what I see from my clients as number 1, 2, 3 goals. So what habits do I want to break? Well, I do want to break a habit of running around like crazy, non-stop. Even if I have time to take a break, I still find something to be busy with. So what are they for you? The next question is also stating what's working already. We often look at what's not working, but there's something we have been doing that is already successful. Okay, so what's been working? And I hear quite a bit, if I want to build strength, what's been working is working out. I just stopped years ago or pre-COVID and never restarted. So what's not working is, well, I'm not doing it. Okay, just giving you some examples on top of my head. Intermittent fasting is working, great. All right, so what's not yet working? And this is one of the really important questions on the very bottom. What's the main obstacle? For me, it's, I don't know, time. It's funny to say time is an obstacle. Well, I am an obstacle. Probably better planning. I'm not planning yet my day, or being disciplined with my own word. So I guess my head is my main obstacle. I'm just working with myself out loud with you all, but if you have something to say in the chat, feel free. What's the main obstacle? In fact, once we start working together, that's what I hear. Me, it's my own mind. It's that, or the family, but it's still family is a family. It's my head. It's all in there. Me, yeah. Inertia of current habits. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Thank you for that. This is sometimes is important to look at when I'm entering also fitness conversation. So what are my medical situation, previous injuries, surgeries, medications, any health conditions, also important to know. Or how many hours do I sleep? If you don't sleep well, it may not be a good idea to work out that hard. Body needs sleep first. On a scale from 0 to 10, what is your stress level? Okay, so all these elements are important. And what do you do for living? Why? I need to know how much you're sitting. Most of us sit a lot. So we gotta know that element of lifestyle as well. Okay. So feel free to put in your comments. And fitness assessment. Physical body is really important. It's all connected. Emotions, physical health, and how we look at the body. Let's assess it first by how you actually sitting or standing. We call it postural assessment. Or what compensations is your body performing? You can see on the top, not the top, on the right is a proper stance. So maybe you can even stand and kind of double check in the mirror on the screen, how is my posture? The sedentary lifestyle actually promotes misalignment in our body quite a bit. If we don't work out, if we don't include our strength in the workout routine, the body is going to go into the least resistance with the gravity. Some muscles, most of the muscles like back will be weaker, hips will be tight because we sit, shoulders will be rounded. So I'm gonna stop, otherwise I'll just be talking here. But another one is overhead assessment. This can be a totally different webinar. Bob, if you don't mind, it's resources, coachingbynadia.com/resources. I taught a webinar on assessment and proper posture, proper form, and how to exercise safely. All that is expressed in that webinar. In fact, I did ask people to stand up and do it together with me. But you can see on the top, on the right, is the proper way we are squatting with arms overhead. If we are not doing that, there's some compensations in the body that may lead to injuries, and it's really important to catch it as soon as possible. Movement assessment is one of them, how we are swinging our body, hips, etc. So with all that said, I kind of zoomed really fast, but the fitness postural assessment is really, really important. So what we looked at is, what do you want? What is your why? We looked at the goals. We looked at, how do I assess? Hey, you are a doctor for yourself right now. You assessed your lifestyle, your fitness, your diet. And now let's go ahead and look at the plan. Here's how a plan is going to look like. You can see this huge orange arrow pointing to the right. We are starting with behaviors. You remember the phrase, in order to change your mind, your life, your health, change your behaviors. So step number one, this is our 3-step system. Behaviors. Step number 2, beliefs. Step number 3, identity. Okay. So I'm going to be going through some examples, and what I want to invite you is to work with your own, what you have already answered. Okay, so some examples might be slightly different from what I share. All right, so let's dive deep into behaviors. How are you doing? Are you not yet hurting sitting? Shake your booty on the chair a little bit. Okay, great, thank you. So behaviors. I'm going to emphasize foundational, personalized, and intentional behaviors. What is that? We're going to look at foundational behaviors and mindset, nutrition, and fitness. All right, Mary's standing. Yay, yay. So what are foundational behaviors? Number one, I want to encourage us all to create or build a habit of mindfulness. If you look at the lady, it's so funny, I can see she's at the computer, and then I'm like, she's eating something. And then I noticed she's got her eyes closed. Guess what she's doing? She is focusing on the food she's eating. I call it fooditating. But the mindfulness in every element of our life, mindfulness kind of based on curiosity again. How am I doing? How am I feeling? What is my fullness right now? How hungry am I? Okay, what are my emotions? Why am I feeling this way? Why is this thought showing up in my head? Just be curious. Oh yeah, curiosity goggles. Okay. Or then unconsciously eating. So also, I invite my clients to start tracking, if it's about the diet, track how much you eat. The cell phone app, almost all apps have, smartphone apps have the way to track your calories, and quality of food. That creates mindfulness. And I'm not asking to track every day, at least just once a week, but you will start noticing how much you eat and what you eat. Being curious, have I moved today? Sometimes we sit for 6-8 hours straight working and not even moving. That's not healthy for the body. So those foundational behaviors of being mindful, really, really crucial. I put this one into foundational. Let's embrace the mindset of learning something new every day. Have you seen the pictures like set mindset and growth mindset? And growth mindset has the slaves, like you can see on the picture here. When you embrace the mindset of learning something new, you're actually moving forward. You're looking for opportunities. It's like the law of attraction. You're starting growing towards your goals as well. Okay, Mary says planning what I'm going to eat next day always works. Yes, I'm going to talk about planning. Foundational behavior. Let's move every day. I hear often about exercise and workouts. How about just moving every day? Do something to allow your body being into motion. And you can see some examples here. I want to emphasize support and accountability, because this is really important. You remember the percentage of how many people fail, even good successful systems, because we lack support and accountability. There are two elements. I love separating them because sometimes we look for outside support when we need to look internal as well. So internal accountability is what you do when no one is watching. And external is your tribe, your coach, your accountability partner. So maybe take a quick look in this table and kind of designate, oh, what can I implement in my own support and accountability? For me, actually, when I see this table, I want to say, well, I need a group. That's why I teach fitness as well, because I force myself to work out. If I had to do it on my own, oh man, yeah, it won't be that successful. Okay, so let's look at personalized behaviors. What do I say by that? So it's funny, I was showing this slide the other day for a group talking about fitness, and he's sitting obviously at the restaurant reading the menu. But think about, it's not about changing, it's about choosing. What can you do daily to move your body? What do you love doing? Or maybe sometimes don't, but you have to, like the floors, I have to wash them. But it's also physical activity, going outside, hiking, being active with your kids. So as the diet, let's build a menu of options. Okay. In fact, if it's conversation about diet, in that link resources, there's a webinar, Find Your New Comfort Foods, and we talk about it quite extensively there as well. So now let's go ahead and step up. So we talked about the foundational, being mindful, building a habit of growth mindset, accountability, menu that are designed for you. For the step up, what else do you need? Is it self-management? I'm talking about stress and time management. Mary mentioned planning, incredibly important. Plan, act, reflect, repeat. Just a couple of months ago, I did talk about both of them, time management and stress management, burnout. So this conversation, to take it deeper, is through a resources page, which is in the chat. coachingbynadia.com/resources. So go ahead, and if you need revisit, look at the webinar and build your plan, because again, this can be a conversation by itself. I want to emphasize slowing down and paying attention to your breath, whether it's meditating, paying attention to your breath, even in the chaos of the day. By the way, here as I am running around, I can focus on mindful breathing, opening my lung, bringing the oxygen into my body. And I encourage all of us to actually use journal, and especially gratitude journal. What are the 10 things are you thankful for? Start your day with gratitude. How we live, how we start our morning is how we live our day. It's how we live our lives. Step up your nutrition. Do you know how much water do you need to drink? What does your diet look like? Let's focus on, we focus on our anti-inflammatory diets, less sugar, salt, processed packaged foods. Focus on more whole foods, like the Farmer's Joe label, the closest to Farmer's Joe as possible. Okay. If you also feel some food sensitivities, maybe it needs to be a sort of elimination diet. So you can start implementing those foods and see what is the body responding to. Okay. Also targeted supplementation. What else do you need for additional support to feed your body so your body can heal itself? All right, step up fitness. Pretty much everything I'm saying is still foundational to me, but starting one step at a time. So with fitness, I believe this is my personal and as a fitness trainer approach. We need to build our bodies inside out. What does it mean? Let's build our bodies with strength or resistance training. At least 20-30 minutes, at least 2-3 times a week. Functional movement is focusing on building your strong body for everyday confidence. So you can actually mow the lawn without hurting your back, or you can open that hard window or pick up the chainsaw, examples of my clients, or don't need any surgery. Really, really important. And if there are any misalignment in the body, corrective exercise can be built into your routine. That's actually what I teach in my group fitness as well. Okay, cardio. Yes, Mary, live in strength classes. Yes, beautiful. Cardio, really important for cardiovascular health. And stretching, especially with age, we need to stretch for mobility and flexibility. Okay, I know I said a lot. What is the one thing? What is the one step that you heard that you say, wow, this will be really nice to implement into my routine? Let's not change everything, one step at a time. Okay, and again, support and accountability. So you can build your habits one step at a time, practice together with your community, just like Althea mentioned. She had her issues with habits, but she wanted consistency, and now she's building her mindful mindset. Okay. So let's be patient with ourselves. As I mentioned, we have built those habits for years. So let's not expect to break that habit or build a new one in 1 day or even 7 days. It takes time. You can see there's some time frame here from 3 to 6 months, from 6 to 12 months. So let's be patient. And that's why doing it together is so much fun. And now, beliefs, go ahead and wiggle your booty. I'm watching the time, so I'm slowly speeding up. I know it's a lot of content. I'm going to probably teach the masterclass in about some time, because that is a lot. I understand that. So in beliefs, what are the thoughts that you don't like you're catching in your head? What are those limited beliefs? Maybe you heard the expression. I call it repeated story in my head. So there are some of the examples. I always screw things up. I'm not like anyone else. I can't eat vegetables. I don't like exercising. Well, for me, it's just that nothing is good enough. And also, are you an emotional eater? Eating emotions away? So what are the stories that you hear repeatedly saying to yourself? Feel free to put in the chat if you can, if you like. So let's go ahead and put those curiosity goggles, pick them up from the pool, and we're going to switch that judgment to curiosity. And I'm going to focus as an example of emotional eating, because most of us actually do experience that. Even if I'm a healthy eater, once in a while, I still catch myself. Isn't it interesting why I crave the chocolate in the middle of the day? What am I really craving when I crave this food? So this is a really good example I ask my clients to do almost right away in the week number 3. Write this down, put it in your fridge or in the place where you reach for the comfort foods. When I feel stressed and it's the middle of the day, I crave for sugar because I want relaxation. This is my example. So how do you feel? What do you crave and why? This is really important. So working through this sentence, working through the mindfulness helps us to really look at what is it really my craving? Is it craving for sugar? I need energy, or I'm actually craving for connections. In fact, one of my clients mentions it's also traditions. We build the relationships with food for years. So now I'm going to Christmas dinner. Is it food, or I'm just want to enjoy family and have some relaxation time in there? So I'm going to give you an example of the story. So Sandra, we worked through emotional eating quite a bit, almost quite a few months. So the story is, I need to be in control. So the problem was 11 p.m. ice cream in the fridge or a piece of pie. And when was this story created? Interesting that all of our patterns were created before 5 years old. Something happened. We had that experience and we created the meaning. So hers was, she was the oldest kid. From her parents, she heard, you're in control, you're in charge. So she created that in charge story throughout all her life, in her business, in how she relates to herself, the food. But when she saw it that, well, now I'm picking up that piece of pie from the fridge because I can control it. I don't like it, but I can control it. Once we see what happened, the story, the meaning, we can actually loosen up that belief. And as one of my clients said, unbelieve that belief. We call it reframe. And start practicing different options. Sandra's option, she said, but I want to feel like a party in my mouth. So the next week she comes in and she says, Nadya, I created a party with my mouth. I did the popsicle with watermelon juice. That was a fun option. But it's practicing. So I want to emphasize it takes time. Okay, that's nutrition. And now I'm going to switch to fitness. Have you seen lately $10 in the gym join monthly? And maybe you even joined? Yeah, and never showed up. That's what I hear a lot. Yeah, I did, but I never show up. Or I signed up for online. It's only $15 a month. But I signed up 2 weeks, months, or years ago, and I've never even opened it up, right? But here's the deal. You sign up, but who is actually going to keep you accountable? Who is actually going to ask you, hey, we haven't seen you for a while? Who is going to actually show you how to exercise properly or use those machines properly and how not to hurt yourself? I want to emphasize one more time, please find the group and support to do it together. Yes, it's about doing, but it's also about doing it together. So you can use that time to build a habit. Diane, 1 month later, she said, okay, you did it. You made me want to stand up. She may still not like exercising, but she's actually looking forward to it. And Jane, you can see her in the picture. She says, at first, it was really hard, but I built my triggers, 1, 2, 3, get up, do it, exercise. My self-care now is non-negotiable. What we do is flexible. That is such a key, isn't it? So with that said, again, it takes time. We work on behaviors. We need to tap into beliefs, and it takes time, 3, 6, 12 months, depending what group you join, whether it's one-on-one or the group or do it on your own. But then step 3 is a fun one. That's when you build your identity. And identity is a part of who you are, what you do. You don't even think about it, or it's simple to plan. It becomes non-negotiable. And how you implement it becomes negotiable or flexible. Okay. So in this identity, you saw those testimonials in the beginning where you're looking forward to accountability rather than running away from it. You're feeling more positive. Your health is going back to normal. Your mind is clear. You're actually looking forward to doing those things. And also together, your body is stronger and you're consistent. Mary says, step 3 is overlooked yet imperative. Isn't it amazing? So let's go ahead and summarize that. I see our time is approaching. So the ultimate transformation of our health and ultimately life is what we are intentionally doing in our thinking or how we are thinking, in our movement, in our nutrition, combined or sprinkled with support and accountability. We looked at what you do, what you want, your why, goals, assessment, lifestyle, fitness, and we looked at the plan. What are my behaviors? Foundational, personalized, and intentional. We looked at from the step of behaviors, beliefs, and identity. So in this behaviors, we looked at mindfulness, move every day, stepping up your self-management with functional movement, anti-inflammation diets. In beliefs, we looked at limited beliefs, what story, when it was created, revising and practicing. Also in step 3, identity, it's all about, again, practicing, be patient with yourself and enjoy who you are becoming. And it does take time, as I mentioned. So with that, if you step back and you really look at what we discussed today, it's somebody says comprehensive program. It's like, this is how I need to be being for the rest of my life anyway, isn't it? That's why I call it foundational habits. So what is it for you now? Here's what I'd like to invite you to. What is your action? What is the one action you see that you can take on today? And if you would like to look at how is it to work with us in a group, maybe in the private, or just do it on your own, there are 3 levels. You can see here private, where we do fitness and coaching. In the group, I think it's the most fun when we're doing it together, or it's a self-paced where you actually get all the recordings of fitness and coaching. And Bob, if you can drop the link coachingbynadia.com/programs. All 3 are described in there. But here's what I'd like to emphasize today. When we're doing it as a group, we work out together. You can choose every day. You can choose 3 or 2 times. There are 3 levels that we do. Fusion flow, low impact, high impact. And once a week, we get together on the coaching sessions for mindset and nutrition. But you also get weekly and daily accountability. You get private group check-ins, and you have a personal access to me. So coachingbynadia.com/programs. Okay, and I'm going to speed up through a few final slides. In the group, there are some new bonuses that I am implementing for this upcoming year. We're going to start in January. So once you join, you're going to have one-on-one onboarding sessions to help you get started right. Everything is recorded and available to you complimentary. You have monthly emergency calls, and every 3 months, you're actually going to have one-on-one session with me. Here's the bonus. Providing you say yes, I'm going to open up this bonus for 3 days. I believe it's still Monday. Amazon gift card, $100, go shopping for Christmas. Yeah. So coachingbynadia.com/programs. I actually had that for myself too, from a coach. Okay, so here is the link. And what I'd like us to look at, and it's also when you work with your own customers and clients, when we hear, well, maybe later, maybe after holidays, and then it becomes a later and later. And actually that story that I keep saying to myself, we don't have to do it now, we can do it later, but is the later ever comes? If I don't have my strong foundation, you don't prioritize yourself daily, if you're not motivated, if you don't have accountability, the time is now. And again, we're starting actually in January. Just the commitment is to put yourself into the program now. So again, we're going to focus on foundational and intentional behaviors, just like Anne, who now doesn't need a knee replacement anymore. So we're going to do it together, not running away from accountability, but really looking forward to it. Every week I hear from them, just camaraderie, just being together, just good to be together. Okay, so all the bonuses, again, onboarding, on demand, complimentary emergency call every 3 months. We're going to have one-on-one and go shopping with Amazon gift card. Okay. So this is a summary of the group, but I'm also looking at the time. Allow me to skip it real quick because we are 2 slides away. In the group, somebody asked me, so what is the price? I believe I didn't mention that. You get fitness classes, coaching sessions. You can have them separate, and it's all on the same page, coachingbynadia.com programs. The ultimate group is everything in that package, and it's $397 monthly for 12 months. Remember, it does take time to have it as your new identity. You say yes, this 3 days, Amazon gift card, go shopping for Christmas. So coachingbynadia.com/programs. So when we do it together for balanced life, strength, energy, active life, better sleep, looking forward to feeling better. And I want to leave you with this final story because I see that we are on top of the time. That's how many slides I should have avoided. But Denise decided to give herself a birthday gift, losing 100 pounds for her birthday, 50th birthday. And she did in 2020. A few months later, she got sick with COVID. Her family has a history of lung disease and overweight. With COVID, she was sick for 2 months. I remember messaging with her that time. She said, Nadya, I can't even get off the bed to go pee. Sorry, personal. But it was really hard for her. And then she says, you know what? I honestly can say, because I gave myself a gift of health, I survived this horrible disease, and not 3 of her family members. So what I want us to look at, that it is possible to be healthier with age, and let's give a gift of life, honestly, not just health or living longer, but actually life to ourselves with those intentional behaviors and actions that we talked today about. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna, wow, that story kind of took my heart a little bit deeper, but please, if you see or know someone that, man, this is it's maybe not the right time, but I need to get started, please join us. And again, you saw all these benefits and bonuses. So let's just do it for ourselves. With that said, I'm going to stop sharing and open the floor for questions. I do understand we are 3 minutes over the presentation. Wow, look at all of you. You all stayed. So thank you for staying. I'm going to stop or pause.
And from a coaching standpoint, has been with fitness, but the ability to become stronger and more disciplined in that area, where I don't think I've missed maybe 1 or 2 classes since I started. And unless you were traveling, I were traveling, we never missed a one-on-one strength session. And that has actually passed on. That has actually impacted my discipline and my capacities in other areas of my life. So it's really fascinating. If you take one area and you really refine that and you become more disciplined in that, I find that it actually inures benefit across the board. So I really want to thank you. I'm stronger and better than I've been for decades. And I wonder what it's going to like when I'm 100, maybe 120.
And how old are you now?
I'm 71.
Wow.
And my little mantra to myself is, hey, first 70 years are pretty good. What's doing for the next 70?
So Bob, I'd like to ask, were you doing workouts before, Nadya?
Well, I was, off and on. I was a wrestler in high school and, tennis player and whatnot. But Nadya could attest. We were on a Shackley cruise. She took me to the gym. She said, Bob, I hate to admit it, it was really scary watching what you were doing. So it frightened me. And I can tell you, I'm probably stronger than I was when I was 40 now. Yeah. And, unimaginably better posture. And, as you get older, unless you really work on these things, and Susie knows that she's an adept runner and has had some, accidents, injuries and everything that have slowed her down. But it's just absolutely astonishing what I've been able to achieve. Not the least of which is my body reacts pretty quickly. So 2 years ago, I went to Dallas where I had my first really big blast with her for about 8 days. And I lost 9 pounds of fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle in 11 days.
Which is not.
Right, 8 days, which is not
for
normal.
everyone.
But, you know, she set the thing up for that to happen. And that really turned the thing. And since then, I've just been gaining, you can tell, you can, you know, take your shirt off or whatever, and you can tell what's there and what's not there. And I'll tell you, there's some stuff there that I had seen since I was in high school. So it's,
And the muscles.
yes, right. Muscle, yes, yeah. To TMI, but yeah, but in the muscle arena, right?
Yeah, and I was just reading how it's a myth or whatever that as you age, you'll lose muscle and not be able to maintain it. No, as long as you work those muscles like you're doing, you're gonna keep it.
Well, look at you, Mary, for crying out loud. I mean,
Yeah, you're a yoga
but yeah, I mean, if you
teacher.
don't do anything, apparently you lose 5 to 7% of your muscle mass every decade, past your 20s. So, yeah, I think the thing that a lot of people tell me, well, I work out, I walk, or I do yoga, or I jog, or I go, I hate to say it, I isn't going to get it, particularly as you get older. You've got, I see, my God, Susie knows, I don't ever say you should or you got to, but I'll say you should or you got to. If you really want to be healthy, you simply have to squeeze your muscles. There isn't any other way. You've got to squeeze your muscles. And then, as Mary pointed out, you can, I probably will never be able to lift as much weight over my head as I did when I was 18, but I can be in really good shape and functionally able to go out in my garden and do 8 hours of stoop labor and not feel it the next day. Well, yeah, I like that.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Oh, you're welcome.
I just need to put
Thank
you
you,
in
Nadya.
part of the presentation and do it for me.
Thank you very much. Very much
You're
appreciate
so
your time.
welcome. All right. Well, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Please remember to give yourself a gift of healthy you in 2022 and beyond. With
Thank
that,
you, Nadya.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nadia.
Uh,
Bye.
Okay, take care.